This is culture. This is culture. This is culture. We got to keep it together.
Welcome to This is Culture, a program created, designed, and produced by the Department of Culture to bring you abreast of all the cultural happenings locally, regionally, and internationally. For this episode of This is Culture, we are at the residence of Mrs. Messina Smith in Little Appleby. Today, she's going to present to us her collection of cultural artifacts. And before we present the cultural artifacts and to ask her to explain their uses, we have just two questions for her. Why Mrs. Messina? But before we go into the questions, welcome and thank you so much for being our guest today on This is Culture.
Thank you also for having me.
Yes. Okay, now, why did you find it necessary to collect these artifacts over the years?
Well, I have a lot of children, and I want to show the children the things that I'm using to bring them in their knowledge right now. So I save them most of the time, but some of them get disfigured and thrown away, but I try to save as much as I can.
Okay. And how long have you been collecting them?
Well, that's a problem right now. I've been collecting them since the children get big.
Okay.
Since they get big.
Mm-hmm. And you actually use some of them still?
Not really. I use like the whisk, the grater. I have about 3 little plates, enamel plates that I use in the kitchen, and 2 cups. Because I myself drink from one of the cup. And the brooms and so forth. I keep them as culture, a lot of things.
Okay, so what we're going to do right now, we're going to present each of the items to you with as much less noise as possible because it could be a little noisy. And we'll ask you to explain their uses and to describe them and to explain the uses of the items. Is that okay?
All right.
All right. Okay, Miss Messina, this one, I'll give it to you. You can tell us about this particular spoon.
This is a pot spoon.
Yes.
My father used to sail the Caribbean island, like Dominica, St. Kitts, about down there. And in the early 80s, or even earlier than that, is when he sailed and he brought home this spoon. Yes. You feel how light it is? And then after I stopped using it, it was my mother own, and after she died, I bring it at my house, and afterward I start using it, and I just hang it on the wall like that, that decoration.
Tell us about this bottle.
You feel how heavy this bottle feels? You feel weight in it?
Yes.
This is my own nurse bottle, baby bottle, what I had my breakfast or my tea into. This is, but then I don't.
As a baby?
Yes. This is my own baby bottle. But I don't have a nipple for it that to take the milk from. But just like how you see this ring is around the mouth of this bottle, the nipple that you put to, is a nipple about the length of your finger when you get those sick fingers where you put a nipple over your finger sometimes, something like that. And it hook around this mouth and it fits right there, and that's it. My baby bottle, the weight of the bottle could tell you.
Yes.
It's a heavy glass.
And it has the ounces as well.
Yes.
8 ounces.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Tell us about this slate.
You see this piece of metal here, you see it now someplace and you, oh, this piece of metal, but this have value. This been educating people. You go to school and all you had to, I went to the Western school, all you had to write on was a slate. You take your word from the board and you put it on the slate and you write. And whatever you learn today, you have to store it up in your brain for next week or else the weekend. Because the weekend, the Friday, you have a general lesson.
So what did we actually write with though? We didn't have chalk?
No, we had a piece of the same metal, make a pencil. And if you didn't have the pencil, then you get a piece of a plate, a slate that broke. and you get a piece off and you write on the same slate.
So you had to erase everything?
Yes, yes.
So you really had to retain that
Yes.
information in your head?
Yes.
I find this piece of artifact here very fascinating. This is my favorite of all your collection. Now, we know about the ukulele, but it's interesting to see that you actually have one. We haven't seen one in a while. So the ukulele, you tell us about this ukulele.
This is a sardine tin. Those big sardine in the red sauce.
Yes.
This is a tin. And then you cut couple holes on here, you bore couple holes on here, and you put a big piece of in the other side of the tin, and you push this. This is the neck of this. And then you make some holes up here, and you put in the keys at your tone, get the tightness to the ukulele. And this ukulele, you may want to know, well, why I have something like this. But this is what people learn, the men in the village learn to play music from.
Yes.
But
And this is, of course, part of our Fungi
yes,
band.
yes,
because the
yes.
Instruments.
The instrument, yes.
All right, moving right along. We have a couple of Calabash bowls here. You have quite a collection.
Yes. I got them from a lady.
From all sizes.
Yeah, from a lady who used to draw them and draw stuff on them and everything. But what I'm saying is, this is maybe the deepest one.
Yes.
In your home, you'll take this one to mix your flour. And the other one, you'll take that one to wash maybe your food or your fish or whatever it is.
Right.
And one of them you'll take and you'll serve your soup. This is a good one to serve your soup in. Another good one, depending on the size of the person, how much they eat, you know. So this is what we used to use years ago.
Right. Exactly.
And these are precious ointment, but the only thing is that they don't leave them ripe enough on the tree because they're very soft.
Oh,
The
you
texture,
can tell from
yes, the texture is very
them
soft.
being dry that they're soft.
Yeah, very soft.
Oh, okay. So they needed to be able to stay on their longer.
And the tree a little higher so they could get firm. And then when you use them, it'll be more stiff.
Oh, okay. Excellent. This is also an interesting item you have here.
Okay. No. This is a gallon that you use to a kerosene stove. So when you pour in your kerosene into this gallon, there's a rod underneath in the stove where they settle the burners, the two burners, and the grill is on the top. So this is set in a cup that come out on this end, and it will turn upside down, and it deposit the oil into that cup over there.
Yeah. So we actually had kerosene
Yes.
stoves, and because you didn't have electricity, of
No,
course.
kerosene stove and kerosene lamp.
And this is, I know what that is.
This is a grater coconut.
Yeah. And that's just a piece of tin and
You carve it
you carve it.
like a 5-pound tin or something like that. Butter pan, you carve it, and you stick it this way. And then when you take it up, then you carve it and you grate on this end.
Right.
Some people put it on 2 pieces of board, but I could hold it right so and grate and comfortable with it.
The wick.
Oh, this is the burner for the lamp. Oh gosh,
Yeah.
the lamp.
Oh, the lamp over here. But the lamp already has
Something in it.
yeah, it has one already in there.
Okay. You see, this one is very hard to come off, so I have this one as a spare one to put it. And then you fill this with the same kerosene oil. And then you pour some, we call these beads down here, jumbi beads, black and white, red and black beads. And when these show up in the oil, and you put the oil on your table, and you put this down there, and maybe you tie a piece of ribbon on the hair, and you decorate your lamp, and it should pretty.
And you were telling me the difference between a lamp and a lantern.
Yes, you could see the oil in your lamp,
Yes.
but you cannot see the oil in the lantern because the lantern is thinning inside. So you could see the color in your oil, and you could see the oil in your lamp, but you
Does the
cannot.
lantern have a shade as well? Because of course we have the
The
shade.
lantern have a small round shade that stands up, and this one have a tall shade with sweetheart on it.
Yes. Okay,
And
there's one back here.
What's
Shade
that?
for it.
What's on
But
the
it
shade?
has people dancing.
Okay, anything like that. It's not a plain shade.
Right.
There's shade with flowers or whatever it is, and some are plain.
And that's the one for this one.
Yes.
And then the lantern has a different shape.
Yeah, the lantern shape is more around, and some of them more oval. The bigger the lantern is, the bigger the shade is.
Okay.
But this lamp, you could take a small shade because you take a shade to fit in the wick. This wick, and when this wick gets in the oil, it absorbs the oil, and then you light it.
Okay. And of course, this is when we didn't have electricity. We did everything.
Yes,
with the lantern
yes,
to be able to
yes,
read.
yes. Everything. When you come from school in the afternoon, be sure you do your homework all the afternoon.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yes, because it got extremely dark, so you couldn't see after that.
Okay, this is a food carrier. We style it in school a food carrier or a canteen.
Yes.
But this is modern something. I bought it in Florida. But our own was a frame, like you could take off the cover, take out one, and you could hold the cover in this shape. This shape here was a piece of wood, a board. It wasn't thinning all over up here. So.
And basically, it was the separation of the food.
Yes.
Or
yes.
if children took the
Maybe
food,
three of you. Yeah.
carry the one
Yes.
container, they would
Yes.
separate
Yes.
their
Yes.
meals.
Yes.
Okay, I remember that.
You remember that?
Yeah, I remember this one.
Okay.
Right? So, all right, so I know about the cold goose, but I don't remember seeing this particular shape.
I myself.
Cold goose, that's a unique one. I don't think I've ever seen that one.
I tell myself, whoever was making this, they was trying a thing, as you would say. Where is the neck of hair? You need a neck hair and a body and a cover. This should have had a cover to sit in here, and behind here is where you will get the ashes out.
Right.
You know, so they was trying a thing, but this not the goose that I was looking for. The handle of this is not
The
there.
handle that we have.
Nothing of this is what I was looking for.
Right, but it just symbolizes that we had the cold goose and this is what we actually use to iron our clothing. Now, I did say earlier when we were preparing that this was just a fan, but you educated me. So tell us about this particular item.
This item is years ago when you grate your coconut and you want the liquid from the coconut, like the milk from the coconut, you press it on this and you get it come to underneath. But then sometimes when you finish, you have to do it over again on a finer pad because it's small pieces to go through. And then you get that heavy coconut cream. And this will help sift the cassava to make the cassava bread and the bang bang with this.
All right. Wow. And of course I know what this is.
Oh, this is what we call a beater. When we want to store a porridge in the morning time, you use this.
Or beat your eggs.
Even so, whatever you want to use, nowadays we use a whisk.
Yes.
Whatever you want to use the whisk for now, we used to use it not long time with this.
Okay. And these of course are items from the sea.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now, I know you have a collection of pans and buckets. You won't really go into them, but because they probably make a bit of a noise. But you could tell us about the various pans and the fact that you didn't use the same pan, although it was the same style, same shape, but you didn't use it for the same function. Tell us about that.
Not the same, different
Like
from.
the different functions for the pans. So,
Well, you have your wash pan. A two-size wash pan. One you could scrub with your clothes, and the other one with a handle that you could take to the well and bring water if you want to. Or you could take that same one and put it on your kitchen table or and store up your water. That's special water to use.
yes.
My point is, you could go to the store and you buy a basin, a water pan, or one of those pans, and you do whichever use you're gone to the store and you buy it, you use it for the use special. Because if you notice in some recipes, They say mixing basin. And you know, a basin is where you would wash your clothes or you would bathe your skin or something if you don't have. Those days when you had running water.
Right.
So if you go and you have a basin, that's to wash your skin. Or if you go and you buy a mixing basin, that's to mix your flour, as the recipe says.
And right next to you, we have a wooden ironing board. How old is that board?
Oh God. Ay. It's old.
It's old.
It's old. Because I know I have one downstairs in my apartment, one of the apartment downstairs, and I have one up here. And that's what I was using in my days. It used to be a plain one like the top. And then you have a stand to your window. And you put a piece of board across from one side of the window to the other side. And you stuck that end of the board underneath that window and you iron on it. It didn't have a foot. Just a plain piece of board. You stick between those two pieces of wood by the window and you iron.
Okay, all right. And next, on top of that though, we have some pillowcases made from the flour bag.
Yes.
So there's a saying that you eat the flour and then wear the bag. So can we take a look? Just
yes.
Have the frills at the end.
Okay, this one it was open. When I finished it, it was open. I opened it, it was open, and then I sew it back after I finished. But what I do when it was open, I pull the thread out from the mouth. Pull it out until I get enough to do this
the design
down here.
Okay, so you made those?
I make one and another friend of mine make the other one.
Okay, all right.
That's how we used to decorate.
But it's not only pillowcases and sheets, but you also make clothing.
You make clothing, you make shirts, you make clothing, anything you feel like making out of a flour bag years ago, you make it because that's all you had to use.
Yes.
So you use what you had. And you could make it white if you want to, bleach it out. But I didn't make it bleach. And I know my mother made flour bag shirt for my father. I myself wear a flour bag skirt. And what some people used to do years ago, this pillowcase now, they'll take with a colored material and they probably cut a small heart and they sew on like 2 or 3 of them there to decorate the decoration. But you form anything with a other piece of cloth and make a decoration, and that's your style.
Yes. Okay. Very creative.
Yes, yes.
And of course I know the broom from the broom tire.
Yes.
So this is a popular one, and I think
Yes.
it's still being used today.
Yes, people have been using them a lot. A lot.
Yeah. So you made these?
No, I get someone make them for me just to have for exhibition.
Okay.
But right here I was more tied with a piece of the same material to keep it together, but someone probably had it and they opened it just to sweep and show how to sweep. But they used to have a long stick to stuck down between here.
Right.
Yeah.
But I want to also show and for you to explain this item here.
Okay, all right.
I think it has a separation, it has a cover,
Yes.
and there's some wire separation.
That's the
So
way.
what is this?
This is the oven. Could you find a cold pot?
Oh yes, I can. So this is an oven.
Yes.
And what is this? The tin? What?
Kerosene
Kerosene tin.
Kerosene tin.
And this is just to cover the tinning.
Yes. But in this
So
you could...
the oven you baked in it?
Yes.
So what would you bake in there?
You could bake your bread, you could bake your tart.
But then you have to turn it this way.
Yeah, and then you have, that's why I'm asking about the cold pot, because you're going to set it on the cold pot with a little bit of fire underneath and a little bit of fire on the top.
Okay, so we did, oh wow, this is a heavy cold pot. So we have it here, this is a cold pot here. So you set it on the cold pot?
Over the cold pot.
Over the cold pot.
Over the cold pot. Because you may not really have to push in the bread.
Oh, you turn it the other way.
Okay, set it right.
Okay.
You're going to push the bread on the rack.
Oh.
On a tin. It's just like when you're putting your bread in your oven.
And it actually has a latch
Yes.
for it here.
And you set the fire on the
And
top.
you set the fire and then it bakes.
Yes.
So just bread alone or anything?
I say tart, anything you fit could hold in it, and you want to bake anything, that's your oven. That's the only oven you had.
Wow.
Remember, let's say we had oil stove.
Yes. But the stove, of course, is just the top.
Yes.
And then this is the baking.
I didn't have, but the summer oil stove had oven too, but I didn't have the one with the oven. I had one on the table.
Oh, wow.
The oil stove was on the table.
Oh, my goodness. This is a heavy pot. This is an iron pot.
This iron pot is what you would select bake a Johnny cake in.
And do frying.
You're frying, you cook your meat, but then you put the fire on top, the tin in, a piece of kerosene, same piece of kerosene pan you might have able to
put
open it.
this on the coal pot?
Yes, you have to put this on the
coal pot.
yes.
And you cover it with the tin.
With the tin in, because you have to heat this a little bit.
Yes.
Take it out, clean it out, wipe it out, put in your bread, throw out the fire and an extra piece of tin in and sit it over this. And it will bake your bread.
It will bake the bread?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
but then you can cook in it.
Yeah, you could cook in it if you only have one thing to. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, if you had one thing, you use it for many uses.
Yes.
Yes. Now, do you know how old this particular item is?
This item is, like I say, no.
You can't remember, but it's old.
It's old. It's old.
Yeah,
It's
I can
old.
see so, but it's still
And it's still strong and
It's still
heavy in the
strong, but
bottom.
you could use it today.
I know my mother used to do a lot of mutton in it.
Mutton
Yeah, she used to cook mutton
in this same one?
Yes, yes.
So that's old.
This is not mine. This is my mother own.
Oh.
My mother own. The coal pot is my mother own too.
Yeah, because I don't think I've lifted a coal pot so heavy. So this will have to be one of the original
Yes,
coal pots.
yes. That's my mother own.
Oh my goodness. And this, you said your mother's coal pot?
Yes,
Oh
yes.
my goodness. Let me take this away from you. What do you think culture is? What's your definition of culture?
The culture is, to me, is the things that you use every day. Because right now we have a lot of stuff that we don't know what it is, but years gone by you had to know what you're using. That's your own culture. But we have a lot of stuff is not our culture. And I think that we need to keep our culture going. But there's a lot of food that we used to have years ago, we're not using the food. The pond fish with the pond salt. You go to the gut and you scrub your clothes on those stones. That's your culture. Everything you had to walk, go wherever it is to get it. But now you can't send a child no place because there's something on the road going to disturb them. Culture is your culture, is the things that you use every day. Like I just tell you, is the kerosene oil. Without kerosene oil, how you going to see? Even you go burn a flambeau, you need kerosene oil to put in the bottle to make the flambeau. Yes. So that's your culture. Culture is the stuff that you use every day. With my children, I used to get up in the morning and bake like 2 Johnny cake, but it used to keep me back too late to make 2 Johnny cake to feed them in the morning. So no matter how late it is in the afternoon, I prefer to bake my bread this afternoon, tonight, or whenever. So tomorrow morning when I get up and my children up, I'm ready to feed them as they up. That's your culture. You get up, you catch fire in the coal pot, and you go about your business and do what you have to do. And the first person that catch fire in the morning, the whole village could come and get piece of fire from here, there, everywhere. I used to go to high school a lot with agriculture.
Oh, Ms. Smith, we forgot about the demijohn. Tell us about this demijohn here.
You see that demijohn there? My husband bring it from sugar mill for me. And that way I used to stop my gourberry when Christmas time comes around. But I don't worry gourberry no Christmas time now, but I still keeping it.
Yes. So who did the Platon around it?
Another gentleman up in the village, a Malino.
Oh, okay.
Winston Malino do the Platon for me. I have another small little gallon, but he do some Platon too.
All right. I know every household had a demijohn.
Yes, yes, yes. I had this demijohn already up in town to Akshaw already. And you know, years ago you always find them in somebody's house, but they always have them in the bedroom put away.
Why is that?
I don't know.
They didn't want to be
Take them when Christmas time
comes. Just for special time.
Yes.
So you
yes.
didn't really drink it every
No, no.
Right. And you make the guava berry yourself?
Yes, yes. I make the syrup and I put it on with some rum, but I never used to taste it. My husband used to still all the rum at Sugar Mill, but he still never, he could have tell me when it needs so much and so much rum, but he never used to swallow it.
Well, I think you have some other artifacts, but Miss Messina, I thank you so much for allowing us to come to your house today and to share your collection with us. And just like to let the audience know that Miss Messina has been a supporter of the Department of Culture for many years. So whenever we want to use her artifacts, we come and we take out what we want, but we ensure that we return them so that she could maintain her collection. So thank you so much, Miss Messina, for allowing us to come today and for you to share your knowledge and your items with us today.
I thank you too, and you're welcome anytime.
This is culture, this is culture, this is culture. We gotta keep it together.